Now we start with 1 hour chart. Okay, if we refer to our analysis, when the price was within this move, we mentioned if we want to look for continuation, we want to get the bigger correction, more complex. This is what we get. Now we want to see how we can look at this. Okay, if we want to trade this correction, we need to know about the different possibility. Okay, then from there we can know how we can trade it. Okay, the first things we can look at this, because if we get this one as a first wave and this is one as a correction internally, that's why still we can expect to get one move up before we get the next move down. Then from there this one can reverse for sure. If we get this one in terms of I mean, if you want to look for trade setup internally in within the correction, it can give us an opportunity. But if the price continue from here, maybe we have to wait for the breakout of that top. Okay, that means still we can expect the one move up. This is one of the option. The price break this low. Now the question is, even if we get one move up, the price can break, did it stop or not? Because if break or not, and after we get the down move, each I mean each option, whether the break this stop or not, can give us a different type of the flat we can look for it. By the way, the first things we can expect, if we get one move up, then we will have the internal correction relative to this, one more drop. Then we will have the bigger flat internally and relative to this. For sure, any reversal from there, we can give us a good trade setup. Then we can confirm we have a correction, and the correction is 3 wave at least, including the flat. And the last move, this is what we expect. But we need to know sometimes this internal, the correction can become more complex. All right. And at that times, as I mentioned, we can look for better trade setup. But how about if the price continue from here? It doesn't mean the price cannot continue from here. If the price continue from here, getting the correction, I mean the trade setup within this, I don't think we can get really good trade setup. That's why the best things is either we wait for the breakout of this top as a sharp move, we wait for the flags or a small correction above that, we look for trade or having entry above the top. Again, having entry, we want the price tag, break and continue. But we should know, as we mentioned, may this one turn to internal correction, easily price can tag and reverse. That's why we mentioned if we get one more drop, we can get better confirmation for trade. All right. And this is how we can look at it. Just now as I mentioned, but we need to know the ways moving is really corrective. When we're looking for the trade setup, the best things we look for the sharp move. Okay. Rather than that, we have nothing else to talk. In this case, we start with the higher time frame. When we refer to the higher time frame, this is what we have been looking for. But right now, this is what we get here. Can this one turn to another correction for one more drop? That's why we put this line here. We mentioned we need to be aware of the possibility of the price to retest 0.0407. Okay, I don't mean we need to wait the price to drop to this level before we look for buy. What I want to say is that if we get any trade setup based within this correction, based on lower time frame, if we see is not moving, as we can see, the way it's moving right now is really corrective. We need to be aware of this possibility. At least if it's happened, we know how to manage our trades. And if we move to 104 hour chart, all right. Now the thing is, again, because we have been looking for this correction in relative to this, okay, and now we want to see whether this is the start of the up move and this is the correction what we're looking for, or this one can turn to a correction similar to what we have here for one more drop. Because if we get one more drop, price easily can take 0.048. Okay, we need to be aware of this. That's why this is what I explained based on for daily chart. That's why if we get any trade setup within this, we're looking for the trade to look for, I mean for buy. But if we get, first of all, we need to get the trade set up if we want to look for buy. The second, if we get the trade, we see it's not moving, it's turned to as a sharp we expect. When I'm talking about the sharp similar to what we have here, because we had this move, as the prices start to correct, and this is what we get. Okay, if we get any trade from here, we see the price is not moving as a sharp, is really corrective. We need to be aware of the next down move. At least we know how to manage it. But right now we're looking at buy. We want to see how we can trade it, as I explained based on 1 hour chart earlier. And if we move to 1 hour chart, okay, as I explained, if there is a continuation from here, just now explain how we can look for trade. And if there is a one more drop, the next level with the breakout of this, we can expect even this correction to be to retest 0.0515 before we get the next up move. By the way, right now we don't have any trade setup. I explained how we can look at this correction and how we can trade for each different option. Okay, in this case, we just follow the chart, and if I see any update, I will share. Thanks.